What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 12 of my Total War Warhammer 3 Yuan Bo Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, poor Nakai and his Saurus warriors got absolutely obliterated by these two armies, though it would have been fairer, I guess, to fight them in a one-on-one, but we had both of them down here, and if we're paying 2,000 gold or more than 2,000 gold every turn for one of the armies, with the privilege of having them around, we damn well better use them. Anyway, in terms of what we got to do this time, we have a potential big battle against Zatan the Black and one of his minions, both of which are foolishly in march stance right beside or within striking distance of our forces. I think the reason they did this was because they can't see Yishi here, and because he's in ambush stance, so that, at the very least, worked out for us. Otherwise, we are in a war with one of the enemy rogue armies, the Hunters of Kurnus, and we'll probably want to destroy them so that they don't completely wreck our ally in the Hunts Marshal's expedition. I'll let them, well, we'll just help them out as best we can before turning towards Ricard shortly, which means a Yuan Bo will have to move in a slightly different way than I had originally been planning. Akka appears to be stuck. I wonder. You know what, let's try this. Let's try landing you here in the Wellsprings of Eternity and then moving towards these guys. I would have rather had the other lord deal with this for us, but I'd rather also not risk it. So, you're going to start moving down here as well. In fact, go into March Stance. Why did I take you out of March Stance? And move around these temples, because this guy could raise, sack, and then move towards our territories, which we most definitely don't want. You can enter the army. There we go, and then you guys are more or less an army now that the peasant archers need to be soon replaced with better units. Also, we will no longer need you here, so we can freely demolish you, and I guess while we're at it, and let's build some buildings. Well, actually, let's move these guys. Well, we'll move you two last because you're gonna fight, so really only you need to move, and you're only going to Bretonia, so you move quick. Also, while we're at that, should we get an Astromancer in this army? I think we should. We do have the building completed now, so we can recruit them at rank 13, which is quite nice. Spell intensity plus 10%. Oh, well, I like the sound of that. Wise it is indeed, then. And you can get up at Kunlun, or the city of SHUGENGAN. No, Kunlun it is. Alright, and then we can put you into one of these armies, although, well, it'll be nice to have both of you available. And then we'll probably also want another Astromancer down here somewhere, though I guess we can't build one close, so I guess we'll still have to build one here. Martial Artist for being a little bit more defensive. Yeah, fine, let's go with Martial Artist, although it is tempting to get other stuff. Just out of curiosity, is it only in that province where we can build them at high ranks? Yes, it is. Might actually be worth our time to build a couple of them at higher rank and then send them all the way through the sea lane to Yuan Bo. I do want to get 2 Astromancers in his army because, well, we could just get Wuxing War Compasses, but why not get Astromancers on compasses as mounts instead? Alright, seems like the better option. Anyway, let's do buildings and then let's attack Zatan. Should be fun. And Jungles of Pabalasha, we'll start with you. Pahwax is going to be our upgrade first, and I just realized that we have 4 stone, which means we can dedicate another commercial district. We'll need growth here, so we'll go for the tea parlor. Good. Next up, ooh, lots of stuff to upgrade here. Gem factors for you, and then lumber mill for you as well, and then we'll upgrade you to tier 3. Finally, the economy is starting to get going, which means soon we'll have more different types of units available, which we really want. Next up, Imperial Road. Let's get you lumber mill, and then let's upgrade the town that is near to Weijin, and the contemplation gardens here as well. If that's good in terms of upgrades, then we will want to go for the matters of state and dedicate a new commercial district, which is, I guess, going to be not the Jungles of Pawalasha. We could do Shangwu, but we don't have Shilong yet. But nonetheless, we could just probably do it in order of which place generates the most money. And I am quite curious as to what it'll do for the exotic animal market, just out of curiosity. Alright, fine. Matters of State, Commercial District, Shangwu. Can't quite see what this will do, but let's find out. Go. Alright, fantastic. And let's see, so this is the confection-wide charge bonus plus 10% for cavalry units, all armies. Yeah, this all this stuff will stack quite a bit over time. You gotta make sure to commercial district up all the places with special locations. Oh, damn, I wonder what the livestock pens will do. Man, if they're faction-wide growth, it would mean that we're probably better off making that a commercial district rather than a military district. It's like the game doesn't want us to make military districts anywhere. I mean, damn. Oh well. How's that Confederation looking? Still no dice. We have, in fact, weakened a bunch of factions. But oh well. Oh, Nakai. Maybe we take Lee Temple and peace out with him. And then just leave him there for a little while, but then we'd have to leave these armies here for a little while as well. I will think about it. Or that's, I guess, that's technically not Nakai himself, that is his minion army. But anyway, that's all for another time. For now, we have fight to fight. Zatan and this little army seem to be beside each other, which is great. And they're both in march stance, so they will both be destroyed. I think we'll go for the first army first, because Zatan has artillery, and we'll want him to come in and reinforce second. You are gonna go for magical reserves so that we can get Arcane Conduit next. I mean, I guess we... You know what, let's get 1 point in Might of Heaven and Earth. The thing is, now that we have the Luminarch lens here, and we buffing ourselves and giving us more fire damage will make this Lord a lot more deadly, or even more deadly than, let's say, previously. You still have the Tormentor Sword. We could actually give you the Von Karstein Blade since Yuan Bo's not using it, although I'm still kind of upsetty about that. Tormentor Sword is good, though. It'll prevent Zatan from running away, but I guess it doesn't matter in this situation. I just go for the Von Karstein Blade. We'll probably end up giving the blade eventually to Celestial Dragon Lord. Or Celestial, not Celestial, Celestial General, rather. But we'll see. Yishi, you don't need to level, so I would like you to go into encamp, and I would like you to go right there, just outside the Bastion, so that you don't suffer attrition. Then we will hit you in a nice big fight. Here we go. Alrighty, and yeah, look at that. That's a lot of Orc Laborers. The Orc Laborers, granted, will just rout super quickly, but those blunderbusses need to be dealt with, unless they kill us all. Here we go.
Upon our triumph, we shall bask in the dragon's immortal love.
I don't know, bask in the dragon's immortal love sounds sus to me, in the sense that that sounds like they'll kill you and eat you or something, but hey, I guess a dragon-blooded SHUGENGAN might know a thing or two, Slaneshi giggle. Anyway, here we go, and I know that this enemy army has Zatan the Black, who's pretty scary, generally speaking, but let's face it, the enemy has no chance here. Nothing like a chance. Yes, they have a lot of units, but we have about the same number of Jade Warriors as they have Orc Laborers. And while they do have a lot, well, it's no contest, right? I mean, look at the stat disparity, plus a difference of 41 in terms of melee defense, and actually surprisingly decent leadership on the Orc Laborers, but nonetheless. I guess they're a little bit more leadership-y than Skaven slaves are, but that's still not great. Anyway, our dragon-blooded SHUGENGAN is flying around in the sky as she likes to do, and casting spells on piles of enemies. I want to whittle down this enemy army at least a little bit. A single cast of that Wall of Wind and Fire will take about half HP from 3-4 units of laborers, and then the other half will follow suit with a nice dragon's breath in the middle of the enemy units. While all that is happening, we're gonna take some nice positions between these impassable lava pits and this impassable, weird, spiky mountain hill volcano. I don't know what to call this. Somebody who's knowledgeable in, I don't know, geologic formations, let me know. Although I imagine that that's not actually a thing that exists, but what would one call it? I guess is the question. Or this entire map. Anyway, it looks like Zatan is on the field. That's a lot of enemies that we're going to have to contend with. But I don't think our dragon-blooded SHUGENGAN is at all scared of these guys. Let's also move a little bit closer and cast a big old dragon constellation on him. There we go, and just to see, last time we watched this hit, I want to see the enemy's HP as it collides right in the middle of their formation. Well, not so much a formation as a mob, perhaps, but collides with them nonetheless. And there we go, lovely little explosion. Of course, some of the enemies will have dodged that, but and the damage is certainly there. Actually, all told, while the damage was big, it wasn't as crazy big as I might have been expecting from something like a Comet of Cassandura, or possibly even from a Dragon's Breath plus Wall of Wind and Fire combination. Those things might have done about the same damage, but at a slightly cheaper cost, so, interesting. Anyway, that's all just the beginning, however, as there are so many more enemy units. To kill a few orc laborers try to move in and block us, but ultimately we'll just get ripped apart by arrow fire. Of course, there's plenty more where that came from, as I said, so we're gonna have to deal with all of this. And hey, this is the Chaos Dwarfs after all, so as we can see, they've got plenty of labor. And while those laborers move towards us, we're going to continue casting Walls of Wind and Fire and Dragon's Breath, pulling double duty, as at the same time we will be fighting against Zatan up in the sky. Not only Zatan, of course, but also his Demon Smith Sorcerer. But we'll see who can fare better against who. Looks like Zatan has a better melee attack, but worse melee defense, so should be an interesting time. A Burning Head cast right in the middle of our formation, but missing about half our troops, which is a little bit weird. In fact, clipping through a solid amount of enemies. It feels more like something that you'd see from a Skaven army, and then a Chaos Dwarf army, of course, although I don't think they'd care about destroying their own laborers to some degree. They probably would be annoyed at the loss of numbers, as in, well, additional hands for labor. And the Sky Battle continues to go on, and both have lost about 15% of their HP, but our dragon-blooded SHUGENGAN is holding against Zatan the Black and his Sorcerer, which is, well, I don't know if it's an indictment of Zatan or not, but it certainly is saying something about our own Lord. Another Wall of Wind and Fire just mowing down these lowly orc laborers. They are unarmored, and this thing just wreaks absolute havoc into their numbers, or against them, whatever, among them. There we go. Nearly 100,000 damage dealt already, and it looks like that Wall of Wind and Fire will at least force a bunch of them to rout. Now, something weird begins happening here. Rather than actually using their extremely scary blunderbusses, the enemy decides not to do so at all, and instead charges them into melee. I guess, sure, a Chaos Dwarf blunderbuss will kill a Peasant Archer in melee. It certainly will. But why wouldn't you actually use the blunderbuss as a blunderbuss and get 10 times as many kills? So yeah, these guys are being very bizarre right now. All of their units of blunderbusses are moving into melee rather than in range, which completely screws them over. This was their main advantage, and they've squandered it on nothing. Over on the flanks of the battlefield as well, we are hitting the enemy hard with our Onyx Crowmen, just taking out isolated units. There was a Dwarf Blunderbuss unit there, some Hobgoblins, etc., and we'll be looking to go after that Death Shrieker cannon as well. Zatan is also now starting to lose HP and has actually reached his healing cap, so it looks like our dragon-blooded lord will be victorious here over time. Fantastic. Are there sync animations with the Jade Longma? I wonder. It's kind of hard to tell with the color scheme of this particular map, as everything looks a little bit samey. And on top of that, Zatan is here together with his Demon Smith, and they're kind of getting in each other's way. And well, another Dragon's Breath will come down on the enemy. Can't get enough of those, but it looks like Zatan is gonna book it out of there. 560 HP, and he is going to get away. Oh, and he was in a Lamasu as well. I didn't even realize that, so we would have lost our magical damage due to the anti-magic war that it has. Well, sorry Zatan, you have lost, and so your army will also fail. Those stupid blunderbusses still fighting in melee, though by the looks of it, not for much longer. They did manage to basically kill off one of these units of peasant archers, or at the very least dish out enough damage for it to be nearly done for. It looks like we're going after the Demonsmith Sorcerer now, but I think the battle should be just about ours. I also want to point out that the second army isn't really here. The reinforcements didn't have their chance to arrive. Jade Warriors are now going to pick up on those dwarf blunderbusses, turning their backs to melee units in order to get in melee range themselves. And while I do admire the idea, it is, well, foolish, tremendously foolish. And there we go, looks like with that, finally, the chain route is here. The Demonsmith been just as defeated as Zatan was, and so have his many laborers. That Deathshrieker cannon was really difficult to bring down or damage with our Onyx Chrome, and unfortunately looks like they are not adept at killing off a single entity artillery pieces like this, especially with their heavy armor, so we're probably better off using our Jade Longmas in the future to do things like that. It's okay though, a lovely battle in a very nice map as well, and I'm expecting to see plenty more of these as we go. And as both our gear, our guns, and the Chaos Dwarf's guns get fancier through the course of the campaign. Alright, speed it up, hunt them down, etc, though obviously only our crowmen can really do a thing, mostly because the enemy was relatively close to the edge of the map. Close victory though, well, some of our units certainly did take damage. Peasant archers. Alrighty, well, there we go, not a difficult fight whatsoever. Once again, the AI gives us the opportunity to take the very nice terrain that we were able to use as a choke point on the battlefield, and on top of it, is it me, or has the AI become dumber with this patch? Am I crazy? It feels like it's playing more poorly than it used to. Sending its blunderbusses into melee. It's blunderbusses. One of the most devastating units for the cost, probably the most devastating unit for the cost in the game, maybe up there with Fire Liege Bolas. They're just so obnoxiously strong at killing anything and everything, and yet the enemy decides, nah, they're gonna use those blunderbusses as whacking sticks. Though, if nothing else, you gotta admire their commitment to glorious melee combat. Khorne would be proud, and maybe they've given up Hashut for Khorne. Anyway, I digress. Let's heal up, as we did get a little bit of damage in that particular battle. This will take us back up to full, and it's not like we're having any money problems right now. Range plus 15 for wow, what the heck is this? Well, apparently Zatan has one of the most amazing defeat traits. I would love it if, honestly, if he had magic item drop chance plus 20% and nothing else, I would already think that that was worth it. This is 40% and range 15% for artillery. Man, we gotta try to get more of this. I really gotta try to get more of this. A Sky Lantern for Yishi, although once again I'm probably going to delete Yishi sooner rather than later. As for Dragon Crossroad, I guess we should probably go ahead and raise it. I would rather not lose HP on our Dragon-Blooded Lord, as we are getting so much mileage out of her. You are going to stop there. And then I guess we really want to turn through these territories and attack the Foundry of Bones and the Puppets of Misrule here, just to knock the factions out so that they stop this, and so that village stops reawakening or giving back territories to the USAC. We will probably want to keep Yishi at Dragon Gate, however, while we move the main army out there, because clearly it doesn't need that much support, and we'll build artillery for that army shortly. In fact, we will do so next turn, at the very least Grand Cannons and Crane Gunners, and then we'll replace those with Fire Rain Rockets markets soon as able. Anyway, that's it for the buildings, that's it for the attacks. Let's double check Diplo and then let's go next turn. No trades and no confed, and thus skip, outpost available, northern provinces, end turn now. I hope I'm not forgetting anything, but if I am, it's too late. Alrighty, let's see what we've got. Alright, Jiao Ming, you want us to go into a defensive alliance. Is there any purpose to doing this right now? I'm not sure that there is. Anybody have any opinion on that? Let me know. I'm going to say no for now. I guess this would discourage certain factions from declaring war on us, but I'm not actually sure that the AI thinks that way. I've definitely seen psychotic AIs declare war randomly on me when I've had, like, 30 allies, and it's like the weakest faction, and it still does it anyway, so I don't know what the heck is up with them. Cargo again for Goldtooth. I mean, we are already friends with Goldtooth, so I feel like this is no longer necessary. Let's draw weapons. This one should be auto-resolve, but let's hope the auto-resolve doesn't screw this army over this time. It does have a bad tendency to do... Yeah, look at that. What is this? Auto-resolve, stop it. I'm not going to fight every caravan battle when it's like 5 guys and none of them good, game. As much as you may want me to. But anyway, let's see what we can do about Lead Temple. Let's have... I still don't know which one of you to send first, but I guess it doesn't really matter ultimately. Let's do you. You are our ranged army at the current time, after all. And oh, you should get Zatan's defeat trait then. Auto-resolve this. And Lead Temple is ours, which we have been wanting for all of 2 episodes. Crackle Blaze. Hello. Another explosion ability affects allies in range, affects enemies in range. Concerning, but should be fun. And we got a few other items. Elite Temple. This is tier 3 and we'll want to build it up as fast as possible, which, you guessed it, means growth buildings. Immediately. Attrition for Yishi. Attrition. Yeah. I tried, guys. I tried. You go to Dragon Gate. You move by yourself, I guess, towards the USAC? I mean, yes, in theory, we could just go for Ironstorm first, but we could always do that later. I really wish you were immune to attrition. Oh, wait. A moment. Matters of state. Oh, it's immune to diplomatic penalties. Damn, I was hoping there was an immunity to attrition. Wouldn't that have been lovely? Settlement belonging to you, Social Emissary. The target settlement summons an elite Astromaster here with the unique trait. Oh, interesting. Oh, I didn't even see that one. I'm excited about trying that out, at least. Target's army is granted experience. Buildings instantly swap. Your faction creates 4 random items, which is also decent. Yeah, nothing about attrition. Okay. Honestly, I missed it, but if I did, it's too late. And yes, I know that there's a War Compass thing, I think, that there is, or just general compass thing about attrition, but can't do anything about it now. I'm going to take a while to get there, but, well, whatever. I'm sure you can defeat the USAC without much trouble. Village will be a different story, potentially. Yuan Bo. Where did these guys... Are they running from us? Unwise. Why would you run from us? This is so rude. I need you to hunt them down from this direction while we... I mean... I don't know what's in this army, that's the problem. If it's a super elite army, then we need Yuan Bo to deal with it for us. If it's not, then we need our allies. As in, Mujin can deal with it for us then. Please, somebody attack this. We have a defensive alliance with these guys and we still can't see what's in the army. Game. How about some intelligence? Isn't that what the crowmen are all about? Send some crowmen and find out just what the heck is going on. Also, let's also double check the... Confed? Nope, 11.9. Now these guys refuse to confed, but, well... We can peace out with these guys temporarily. How much money would they give us for this? 10,000 gold for this? I'll do it, go for it. It's not bad. And yeah, some of these guys will be upsetty about it, but if, well, if they keep fighting these guys or they start fighting these guys, that'll be just fine. Alright, well, I'm not now entirely sure what to do with you guys, except there's seas here, and I see not a single island. Ah, there's one right there. Alright, we can send you to gather that one, and I would imagine there's probably islands down the river. Not really. Okay, last time I was here in another campaign, there was a lot more items around. Also, you guys, at the very least you, will definitely need an Astromancer, so that's why we got you, and that's why we're gonna head you down there. Alright, who else needs to move army-wise? Gotta try to keep advancing our turns. You are going for Bretonia to get a trade agreement with them, and whoever else we can find that's tradable. You are supposed to go up here to join these armies, and I believe that's good. Which means more building, and then more ending turn, or diplomacy, and then ending turns, and then trying to get that rogue army defeated. Alright, how about you? More troops. Not elite troops, but, you know, more elite than what we've got, mind you. And let's get furs, and let's get ports, and let's get, I guess, money here, because we have no room for growth. Alright, Spice Market is... Also, how's our trade going? 8.2k, very respectable. Probably because of all the trade buffs that we have from these buildings. When they're max... Wait, no, not these buildings. These buildings. Wait. Oh, this is the wrong building. You should be this. Alright, go to this. Just realized that. Alright, and it confused me too. But yeah, the buildings that upgrade the tariffs. Normally I wouldn't bother with that, but once again I feel like we're better off using this harmony for the bonuses to control and growth and construction reduction, because it'll continue kicking our economy off. I see that Marathi's up, although Mother Ostankia is still here. She is damaged. We're probably gonna need to send an army up here. I don't think Baba Yaga's gonna be able to handle Marathi on her own. And, ooh, the Astromantic Relay. Now, we can't build this until... probably for a few more turns, until Yuan Bo is back up here. What we'll want to do is deal with Ricard, then come back here, and then hopefully loop back around. Alright, so that means we're gonna skip that place for now. Pahwaks, you are gonna want the growth, so let's get you your Labor Conscription Bureau. Conscription Bureau, rather. That makes more sense. Actually, both of those made sense. I'm not crazy, you're crazy. Alright, and Cattle Ranch for you, Isthmus Coast. We still have plenty of money. Let's upgrade both of you. And we'll probably want to start building at least some port defenses in a few places, but in a little bit. And Jiangxi, let's get you a Celestial Tower. Gotta get more of those research buildings up and running. And that's it. Alrighty. Which means, I guess we got another end turn. Skip outpost available every time. You know what? I'm gonna build this because it's otherwise going to continue bothering me at the end of every turn. It's just annoying otherwise. And what do we have in terms of trade? Ah, Tiranoc is good, but nah, Tiranoc's fighting everybody. Reichland. Oh, look at that. Ice Court wants to non-aggress. We can non-aggress with Ice Court, sure. How much you want for this? 3-7? No. They'll ask for the military access themselves anyway. There's really no hurry. Averland, these are all probably too weak to bother with right now, so we're not going to bother with them. Defensive alliance with Reichland. Should we do it? The only reason I haven't done this yet is because our caravans are going to be moving through the territories of Reichland's enemies, and right now I don't think there's too much of a benefit to it. Goldtooth is still looking okay, but ooh, we have a mission from Hunts Marshals. Yes. Hunters of Kurnos. Oh, now you want peace? Alright, I want defensive alliance ally missions. Yeah, kill one of these guys, maybe the main army. Try to go after it. Lovely. And now we can end the turn. Let's see if we can hunt Mr. Thalandor down. Hopefully if he attacks an enemy army or a Hunts Marshal's army within our sight, we'll be able to actually attack him. I'm not going to militarily align with you yet, Hunts Marshal, because if we do, you might force us into a fight with the lizards to the south, or the dwarfs to the south, or the Bretonians to the south, anybody to the south, really, that we don't necessarily want at the current time. Armor for Peasant Long Spears, you are now hurt. You know what, I think this army should be able to take care of you. Are you now close enough to get some intelligence on what's in here? Ooh, it's a wood elf farm. Oh, well, you know what? I should have known that because the sign and the fact that it's a wood elf. I'm sure you'll be fine. Yuan Bo, don't bother. We'll have them deal with it. I'd rather you start moving through these territories instead and go to that Turtle Isle. Away you go. Wait, should we just set out to sea? It'll be faster. Man, all that extra mobility. from the supply line operations. Gone chasing enemies. But oh well, sometimes you gotta give chase. Anyway, you, ignoring Zatan, who is no longer here, go into that Foundry of Bones. Yishi, just stay there and defend. You guys are, well, stick around here for now, at least one of you, while the other one goes for islands, as it can get for XP and for potential bonuses. You are still looking for Britonia for us, so keep looking. You are going to join this army as an Astromancer, and then... Did I not move you? I think that failed? No, it didn't fail. Okay, good. And then you are joining this army down here, also as an Astromancer. And yeah, go through this way so that we can actually see where you're going. Next up, we got more research, and I do want, well, I guess Blessed Temple Guardians. Hey, more construction cost reduction. So, well, I guess we have no choice but to go through this entire line anyway in order to get the administrative subsidies, so we'll need that. Also, Astromancers, I just realized, or I just had a thought, you guys are the tech thieves, which means we're gonna need to get more of you. Lots and lots more of you. We did want to get 2, though, for... I'm gonna run out of capacity that way. We should at least get 1 tech thief up here somewhere. Maybe the strategist. Driven doesn't really help. Fervent questioner, corruption reduction, and income. Well, I guess we could... let's go strategist. I actually don't know whether strategist works or if it only works on lords, but, well, I suppose it's not a big deal. You're going to be a tech thief, which means specialist and steel tech, and I guess block army will have some uses as well, and, well, wound. There you go. You're immediately maxed out in terms of being a field agent. Good on you, bud. The rest of you guys stand still. Let's do buildings yet again, and then continue looking for those enemies. Gem factors for you, Forests of the Moon. Everything gets upgraded best we can, and then hopefully soon we'll be able to get another district of some type up and running. Alright, economy is working reasonably well, at least while Marathi has not declared war on... declared war on us. I kept misclicking. What? You know what? Maybe it would be faster... I'm just wondering whether we should go down there now or leave Rakarth to it and just get back up to Hexawattle, because by the time that Yuan Bo gets here, which would be 1, 2, 3, we could just build this. Let's just do it. 10,000 gold? Wow. Well, that's intense. But nonetheless, let's just build it. Yuan Bo, you can hopefully handle it. I hope I don't come to regret that choice, but I guess we'll have to see. Hai Chai will upgrade you. You are probably not needed here, although... Once again, if we make this a fortress city... No, just stay there for now. I'll think about it. As in, I don't want to think about it right now, and I'll think about it later. Tyrannox still wants to trade. Reichland isn't nearly there, but they keep on edging me, and it just ain't working. Let's skip the rest. Garrison unassigned skill points in the turn. And at least we now have that Astromantic relay up and running. Or, well, not up and running, but building. Greasy. Military alliance. No. You know what, maybe we'll send one of the other armies out there to help Greasy. I just want to make sure that we actually build the guns, which we now have available, yes. Alrighty, Yishi, well, not Yishi, we'll get another Lord, and we'll start recruiting Crane Gunners, Grand Cannons, and everything else now. Beautiful. Ambush of the Ogre Kingdoms on the Caravan. Oh my. Well, that's not great. I wonder what's in this army. Let's find out.
Remember, you do not fight alone! All Cathay stands with you!
Huh. I thought they weren't supposed to make speeches during ambushes. Why would you make a speech not knowing a battle was coming, game? Anyway, here we go. A little ambush. We do have our noble with us as well. And what are we facing off against here? Oh, okay. It looks like the standard little ambush randomly for the caravans, which means just a pile of tiny, weak units. We shouldn't have too much problems. The biggest threat will be the Saber Tusks packs going directly for our Crane Gunners by the looks of it, as well as our Jade Warriors. But if we get our melee units in into the fray, we should be just fine. Looks like Vissen's wild form pops up on the Saber-Tusk back, but as soon as our own melee units get into the fray, they're going to back off instead. Beautiful. And there's some man-eaters as well, but fortunately even our peasants are anti-large, so they should be able to hold them off for a time while we get the crane gunners and the range units into position. And generally speaking, this is too small of a battle for the enemy to achieve anything. Alright, crane gunners, away you go. We're going to be using plenty of you throughout the campaign, so begin here. Take a few more volleys, would you? Alrighty, now if this was a full stack ambush, this would have been a lot, and I mean a lot scarier. In fact, against a full ogre stack, this probably would have been pretty ugly, but here we're looking pretty okay. The gunners are bringing down man-eaters, and it looks like the enemy will book it on out of there. Still fighting the Noblars, and the Noble is going after the enemy Slaughtermaster. But that's also a pretty darn bad matchup as well. Slaughtermaster of beasts and Noble of nothing. And yeah, these are Jade... Oh, these are also Jade Warriors with halberds, which we don't have a lot of in our own armies, but it looks like they're sufficient together with the nobles. So, decent amounts of anti-large in this particular army. Oh, that poor unit that was on the ground. I've never seen those before. Oh, the ogres just sort of bowl them over and then keep kicking them forward. Anyway, with that, the battle's ours. Easy, quick little fight, and no problem at all. Runaway Slaughtermaster, we won't be able to catch you, but I don't think we actually need to catch anything, as this army, I think, only exists for this ambush. Alrighty, there we go, not too bad. That was our first caravan ambush. Fortunately, it was a relatively weak army, though unfortunately this particular army will be bad at dealing with ambushes. I really think that there should be a setup for the formation your armies takes, or the column formation your armies take when they travel / get ambushed. It's really bizarre that every army travels without a rear guard at all. Yeah, just leave your artillery, leave your baggage train, your ammunition train, whatever, completely unguarded at the back of your formation. This makes much sense, and isn't a complete vulnerability for armies throughout history. But anyway, I digress. We are going to heal up because it's a caravan and it's gonna need it. And we should be good. Sword of Cain claimed by Nakari. Oh my. We'll get Yuan Bo or somebody to go up there and deal with Nakari for us. Should be a possibility. Grandmother's No Best gives us corruption reduction, but I believe we've already read that one. Another Silkweaver is good, and I see no new armies here, which means you keep going to the Foundry of Bones, and they're gonna go around us, but we should still take the Foundry out. I wonder if Yishi can handle them. Either way, what we're going to want to do is create a Recruiter Lord. Lord Magistrate. Leadership when defending. Oh, huh. That's actually nice. Leadership when defending against Warriors of Chaos, Demons of Chaos, etc. We could put that in the Great Bastion, for example. Bureaucrats, I'm just checking if there's somebody who's a better recruiter. Like with a bonus to recruitment, or a bonus to... recruit to well, I guess that's also bonus to recruitment. No, it doesn't look like it. So Lord Magistrate, plus they are the... Oh, I was expecting Lord Magistrates to be cheaper than Celestial Generals, but apparently they're not. Odd. Odd. Harmonizer it is. Alright. Get real harmonious about it. Crane Gunners, 4 of you, and let's get a couple of war drums and then cannons. Alrighty. Alright, getting into it immediately. How much would it come? Oh, damn, it's still very expensive to global recruit. Do we have something? Oh, we don't have Mingzhu. Would you sell that to us? Because you're not going to confed right now, are you? Are you? Okay, was that... I don't know what to say. That was very ironic, game. Are you gonna... They wouldn't confed up until now, and then bam. Yes, they will. And as soon as I asked about it, it's... I don't know what's going on, but I love it. We are going to do this. Miao Ying. Alright, our sister dragon is with us now, and I'm very happy about that. On top of it, we get to Nangao, which will definitely be the main fortress city of our faction, being a fortress city and all that. The entire Great Bastion is now ours, as well as Miao Ying, which is great, though her army is ass. It is absolute ass. And, ooh, wait. She has one quest item. Does that mean, yes, we'll even get to fight her other quest item? Oh, beautiful. And I also noticed that she doesn't have a weapon, which means the Von Karstein blade can go to her, though it'll be maybe a little bit unfortunate. Huh. I do find it interesting that she was willing to confed, and I think maybe that'll mean we should probably do alliances with the other Cathayan factions, because it seems like perhaps that'll increase their willingness to do the same. Ah, very, very nice. And what level are her bastion gates? 3 and none. Okay, we'll have to be careful about you in particular. In fact, maybe we send Yishi over there? I think Turtle Gate can defend itself, so maybe we send you around to Dragon Gate. Either way, that'll probably be something I need to take a look at next episode, and I'll probably take a look at a decent amount of the stuff between the episodes, just so that I don't have to, well, get consistently confused about it. Anyway, I think this is then a good place to call it. Next episode, we're going to send Yuan Bo up north towards Hexo, and I do see that Marathi's forces are still moving around, so that's concerning. In fact, get the heck out of here. Though it looks like Marathi's pretty much done for, which is great, because we are allied now with you. Not militarily, but yes. So we'll actually be able to get access to their units. Anyway, Yuan Bo up north, and hopefully we'll be able to defend the first of the Lizardmen onslaughts against our relays. We'll also build Miao Ying a proper army and start fighting with her up north. She has a considerable reduction to missile infantry, so I guess she's going to have to take the place of the... this little army, because I was originally going to use this as our ranged army, but we can always use Miao Ying instead, because the Celestial Dragon crossbow should go to her instead, since she has a 50% reduction. Yeah. Also, by the looks of it, we're going to well, I'm going to have to re-download the respec mod, because this is not working. Inspiring recruitment. I don't think she has enough points to go through the entire line and still reach the Great Bastion. At least I doubt it, so we're going to want to respec her most likely. But anyway, that'll be for another time. The Great Bastion is ours. Stay tuned for more Yuan Bo and Miao Ying, and hopefully the 3 dragons together at some point. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm. And I can't believe that happened just at that time. And thanks for watching.